Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? So, I know I haven't been on here in a few days. I was trying to give my face a little bit of a break. As you can see, I have these huge marks on my face, and I was supposed to have a dermatologist appointment last Friday, but they messed up on scheduling, and he wasn't in, so now I have to go this Friday, so I'm hoping he can do something, because my skin is absolutely like a mess, as you can see. Like this right here is just horrible. Like this here was like that big. I have a pimple inside my nose. Like it's killing me. But anyway, so today's video I'm kind of making a concoction of face products because I want to be able to cover everything. Like the bagginess underneath my eye looks more severe because of this big blemish right here. So it's going to take a little bit of work for me to be able to cover everything. I am going to start off today with my Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer because when my face is like this, I feel that the only thing that helps it is the Tatcha. I've went across that before. I don't want to keep going across it. I mean, I always feel bad promoting expensive products, but I mean, this one actually does what it's supposed to do for me, and that's why I, use it. But like I've said 100 times before, if you don't have bad skin, and if you don't have skin conditions or problems, then you do not need this primer. Although it is skincare and primer in one. And it feels amazing underneath your eyes. Now I do coat my eyelids in it too because I feel like it just gives that added moisture that I need for it to not show like the wrinkling and the texture in my eyelids when I do my eyeshadow. Because I do have a lot of texture today. So I am going very matte, just so you know ahead of time. I don't normally do a lot of matte products. I try to stick to dewy products, but I can't today. It's not possible. My face will look like a lumpy mess if I do all dewy. So for foundations, I have a mixture of 3 I use when I am really broken out. I have the Maybelline New York Dream Velvet Soft Matte, which is old and I probably need a new one if they even have it. And then I have the LA Colors Truly Matte, and then the Maybelline Matte and Poreless. So it's, like I said, it's going to be a concoction, but you'll be able to see why at the end. So I'm going to start out with my IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eyes, and I'm going to take this on a small brush because I only want to put this in detailed areas, like where I have the most blemishes, like here, here, and of course on this monster here. And I am going to take it into my fine lines, like just in areas like this where you can see the bagging underneath my eyes. Take a little bit right here, a little bit right here, my smile lines. And like I said, just cover a couple blemishes. I'm kind of going to look polka dotted because there's a lot. Alright. So with that, I'm just going to take my blender and just dab over it very lightly because I'm going to leave it like white looking like that. And I'm barely tapping it in because I kind of want it to stay very dominant, because that'll help cover it with the foundation. So, I mean, you can see the white in, different areas still, but that'll go away when I put on the foundation, like I said. So I'm just going to use a little bit of all 3 of those foundations because 2 of them are very thick. I don't want to, that's why I have to add 3, because the 2 real matte foundations are very thick foundations. And the Maybelline Matte and Poreless isn't, so I use that to break down the thickness of the other 2 foundations. I feel like I have an eyelash in my eye. Alright, so I'm just going to mix them up. I have a little tool I mix it with to mix all 3 of the foundations. And then you'll see I have a chunky mess here on my little foundation tray. Alright. And then I just coat my face like I normally would. And you can see a little bit goes a long way with this because there's so many mattes involved. And the color may not be exactly right, but it's pretty close. And this concoction will cover anything. Like, I haven't found anything it won't cover. And it won't look cakey because I broke it down with the Maybelline Matte and Poreless. Since the other foundations were so thick, like I said, I had to break it down a little bit with that one. But this is my, like, last resort combination. And you can see it's very full coverage, this concoction. Like, there's nothing it won't cover, I swear. Alright. So you can see, I mean, this is still a tiny bit visible, but it's not as bad as what it was. Like, my face had a lot of redness to it. A lot of irritation. But now you can barely see any of it. So that's why I like to make that little concoction that I do. I'm going to give you a little close-up so you can see that it doesn't, like, accentuate any textures at all when I use that combination. And it doesn't even sit heavy on my skin. Like, I don't think it looks too bad. I think it looks good. So now I'm just going to go into my regular. I use the Revlon Candid Concealer. And I'm just going to tap a little bit under my eye. I'm not going to use as much as I normally do, because I don't want to make this too much. This can get cakey really quick when you're trying to conceal a lot of stuff, so. God, I love this concealer so much. It like blends away, but leaves this beautiful finish to it. It's very full coverage. But it like blends into every foundation I use. Like, it never gives me a hard time. There you go on that one. And there you can see it just blended right in. It didn't give me a hard time. You can still see my bags underneath my eyes a little bit. And that's only because it's so swollen from that blemish. I'm going to use my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I only have the mini size because I didn't want to pay that much for powder if I wasn't sure I was going to like it. So I'm going to set underneath my eyes real quick. I'm not going to be using a bunch of cream products like I normally would lately, but that's why I'm setting now. And I'm really making sure I'm setting it because I don't want it to start breaking down throughout the day. Some matte foundations tend to break down on my skin. Set my eyelids. I really do like this powder though. It adds just the right amount of coverage to what you're trying to, you know, cover. And it always gives you like that flawless finish that a lot of powders like will leave you cakey, and this one doesn't at all. My chin is the first place where foundation really breaks up on me, is my chin and my nose. So that's why I'm really going in setting my chin. And then I'm going to lightly dust this around the rest of my face to set it. Use a bigger brush. It's taking a while. Alright. So that's it for that powder. Now, to bring some color to my face, I am going to use I'm going to use two different things. I'm going to use my Physician Formula Butter Bronzer, and I'm going to use out of the Pure palette that I got from BoxyCharm. I'm going to be using this bronzer shade here, even though it's like a shimmery shade. Because I want it to kind of tone down some of the mattifying effect. So I'm going to use both of these. My hair is a little wet, so I can't really get too close to my hairline like I normally would. I'm trying to, but I don't want to cake my hair up. I did just wash it. That's why it looks like so separated and stuff. It's because it's still wet. Alright, so there's the first one. Now I'm going to dip into the Pure palette. Kind of contour a little bit more with this. Warm it up a little bit more. I don't want to be too pale. For my skin, it tends to, whenever I use a mattifying foundation, I feel like I look so much more pale than when I use my regular foundation. So I brought a little bit of color back to my face. So for blush, I really haven't decided which blush I really want to use. I like these ones in the Pure palette, but they are actually like too pigmented. So maybe I'll try it very light-handed. Oh, sorry guys. I'll try a little light-handedly with this one here, like the peachy one. I mean, you can see as soon as I tapped it, it's like crazy pigmentation. Now see, I still have a little bit of, you still see that pimple there, and it's kind of really bothering me, but now, on camera, it doesn't look like that blush is like crazy pigmented. Let me get closer to show you because it kind of is, and I want you to be able to see it. Oh, sorry. There you go. When I stand like this, you can see it, like in here and here. So what I'll do is I'll just take my translucent powder brush that I used and tap over it. Kind of spread it out and tone it down. I think most of you guys know that trick. Everybody pretty much does it. Alright, so now what I like to do is before I do anything else, I like to set my face. And I am going to be setting my face with the City Colors Matte Setting Spray. It says it's enhanced with aloe vera and silica, and it's long lasting, so we'll see. Oh, it smells good. It's kind of like a powerful mist, but it smells really good. So I'm going to let that dry a minute, and my face is pretty much done now. I'm going to move on to my eyes, and then, you know, lips, and go from there. So I kind of have an idea what I want to do for my eyes today, but I'm not definitely sure. I know that I want to use the highlighter from the Pure palette. This highlighter right here as a lid color, because, I mean, it's a beautiful color. And, I mean, it works okay as a highlighter, but I think it would be really good for an all-over lid color, because it has just the right amount of pigment and sheen to it for like a light eye look today. So, that's what I'm going to do. I am going to dip into my Morphe Boss Mood palette here, and I'm probably going to stick to like this color, maybe this one, and maybe I'll add a little bit of a plum or a reddish tone to it. I'm not sure yet. I kind of try to stick to them colors around the holidays because it makes me think of the holidays. So I'm just going to use a regular fluffy brush, and I'm going to dip it in this first shade right here. And I'm going to put this in my crease and above. Now, do you guys like to see more like easy to do, wearable looks, or do you guys like to see more of like the cut crease and everything? Because I mean, there's not much I can't do with makeup. I just don't want to do things that are like crazy extravagant and then, you know, have you guys not be able to do it or not like it or, you know, something like that. So if you can, in the comment section, please tell me what you like to see. And if there's any specifics you want to see. Now I got that one down as my transition. I am going to connect it in here. And then I'm going to move on to a more defined brush. And I'm going to dip into, yeah, I'm going to mix this color with this color here because this one has like a yellow undertone and that one has like a really warm undertone. So I haven't tried that yet and I'm going to mix it. I'm going to put this directly into my crease at the lowest point of it. And then I am going to bring it in on my eyelid over here a little bit. But I'm going to do that with a different brush. So I really think that was a good mix. I like those two colors together. Alright, so I'm going to switch off to my little mini angled brush right here. And I'm going to mix them two colors again on the whole tip of the brush. And I'm going to bring it in here. Just a little bit, not far. I don't want to make this too dark. But I do want to keep the angle that I'm going on right now. If I need to darken it up later or put more on there, I will. But I want to get my lid color on there first before I decide how dark I'm going to make it. Sorry if you hear my cat. She's been snoring a lot lately. I don't know if she's having like a little bit of a breathing problem or if it's just the way that she's been sleeping lately. But see if you can hear her. There she went right there. I mean, it's cute, but I'm kind of worried about her, so I'm going to get her into the vet soon. Now I'm done with that. And I'm going to move on to my Alamar Cosmetics shader brush because it's my favorite shader brush. And I'm going to go into that highlighter shade right here in the Pure Midnight Masquerade palette. Sorry, I never said what palette it was. I'm going to use it on my finger. I think it'll be easier. Yeah, I think that's a pretty choice. And this is like a really simple look. I mean, you can really use any palettes to make it. It's just dark brown, light brown, and like a champagne-y highlight color for the lid. And then I'll reinforce the dark color if I bring this over too far. So now I am going to use the little, the Alamar flat top brush just to get into the inner portion of my eyelid right here. Just to make sure I got it good. I hate when I like get my makeup done and I look and I have like one spot I should have coated that I didn't. This palette smells so good. Alright. So now that that's finished, I'm just going to go back into that Morphe palette and reinforce the darker shade I have in the outer V of my eye. Same brush, the angled one. Maybe if I can find it. There it is. So I'm just going to take the mix of the two colors again. Here, and back in that one. And I'm just going to define the outer V again, right here. Just to kind of blend everything in, make it seamless. Sorry, I'm just looking at my little mirror here. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. So I moved my mirror. I did have it over on this side of me, but now I have it on this side just because my lighting, the way that it is, like I can see better on this side than that side. I don't know why. It's all like right in front of me, but alright. Sorry, my lighting went a little wacko on me. So all I did was take my flat top Alamar brush and I dipped it in those two dark shades and I put it in the outer like quarter of my eye. And then I'm going to take a pencil brush. Here it is right here. It's a flat top pencil brush. I'm going to put it in that first shade that I use up here in this corner. And I'm just going to blend this in. And bring this all the way in. I hate that when I get the brush in my eye because it's just a little bit too big to get that close. And then I poke myself in the eye. Happens a lot. So that's it for the eye look. So I'm going to put on black eyeliner. And then my combination of mascaras I use is the Wonder Beauty Unlashed and the Soap and Glory Thick and Fast. And I'll be right back. Alright, so now I also did my brows. I did my brows, my liner, and my mascara. Now, I'm debating on the inner corner highlight, and because my eyelid is so bright, like the color that's on the front of my eyelid is such a highlighting color, I guess you could say. I'm going to actually go into my Jaclyn Hill Armed and Gorgeous palette, because it's the only, this is my brightest inner corner highlight. And I'm going to use this white color right here. And I'm just going to use that on a round pencil brush. And then I'm just going to put that directly on my inner corner. See if I can get it to show. This really is my brightest one. I really like it. Sometimes I can top it with the Nomad highlighter I got in my Ipsy. Because it's such a small highlighter, my brush barely fits in it. But for inner corner highlight for my pencil brush, I can use it. There we go, work better there. Alright, so there's that. And then for my brow bone, try to hit it up as high as I can. I don't want to bring this down too far and then have it look like my whole brow bone is beaming in highlight. There we go. It's under my good eyebrow. I think everybody has like one good eyebrow. My Nomad highlighter. I'm going to use that too because I don't feel like I got bright enough. So this is a little highlighter here. I mean, you can see my lights actually make it to where it don't even focus as a color. But just set it over top of it. But you don't have to take the extra steps I did, like using a Jaclyn Hill one or anything. This is just the way I know I can get a good highlight where I want it. I'm actually going to blend that in a little bit because I feel like I went a little overboard there. Alright, and I'm going to try to use this as my highlight, but I think it might be too light. I got to be really careful using a highlight because that right there is in like the perfect spot for my highlight. So I'm going to try to just go very light on it, which is rare for me. Normally I go crazy with highlight. And I'm going to try to just bring it underneath of it, kind of. Now it's going to be hard to do it over here because I don't have it here so I can go nuts. But, no, it's not really, it's not bad. There you go. That's, you can see it good there. Cupid's bow, put a little here. I always like to put a little bit up, like up near my forehead. Forehead, however you say it. And bring it around here. Because it just gives you the extra shine where you want it. So I have to compensate for what I can't put, you know, in the regular highlight area on the rest of my face. Sorry. Alright, so for my lips today, I'm not even going to wipe all the foundation off of it because I'm only going to be covering it anyway. And it's kind of like an unneeded extra step. So I'm going to use my NYX lip liner. And this is in the shade Sand Beige. Which is actually really dark. I don't understand how it's sand beige, but it's a beautiful color. I really only use lip liners when I'm using a matte color. Because if it's like a wetter matte, I don't want it to bleed out around my mouth. And what I'm doing, I mean, you got the crazy lines in there, but this makes your lips look a little bit fuller. Here, 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 and here. So I have small lips, so I'll do this on occasion. And you'll see to make it look a little bit fuller. Now I know that liner I use don't really match my lipstick.